It's only a few weeks ago that the German advance on the Eastern Front had reached the very outskirts of Moscow itself. Only a few weeks ago, Hitler's intuition told him Moscow would fall. Certainly things did look pretty black for Russia and for us. The city of Tula, about 100 miles due south of the capital, was almost surrounded. But this important factory town held out, and the workers of Tula carried on with their munition making to the very last minute possible. While the Red Army, retreating, fought every inch of the way, the Soviets' frontline factories in Tula and a score of other towns continued to pour out weapons of every kind. While their comrades in the army fought the invader, they fought to maintain the flow of munitions. The defense of Tula, the defense of Moscow, these were equally the defense of freedom everywhere. And the great victory won by our ally was as much the triumph of the factories as it was the triumph of the army. In a Moscow factory, they were turning out skis by the thousand. Skis for the great winter campaign that lay ahead. And small arms, Russian Tommy guns and automatics of many kinds, good Russian weapons with which to kill Germans. In those days of crisis, the workers excelled themselves, breaking many records. Maria Kashevnikova increased her output to 260% of the schedule. Katya Abramova went to 210%. I'm quoting from a Russian newsreel which specially mentioned these two workers. A tank hospital. The critical shortage of tanks at the height of the German drive made this tank repair depot more important than ever. Tanks to stem the onrush of German tanks, and they did. And tanks for Russia's counteroffensive to hit back at the Hun, to drive him out along the whole length of the 2,000-mile front. The outlook must appear pretty black to Hitler and the German army. Those arrows, you may have noticed, now point westward. The Russian winter and the Russian army and air force are driving the German army back along the road of defeat. And the Luftwaffe has taken yet another beating. It is said they've lost 6,000 planes in 6 weeks. But whatever the figures, sure enough it is Soviet airmen who now rule the sky over the Eastern Front. Their fighters and bombers are leading the offensive against the army of the Reich. General Winter, though we were warned not to rely upon his aid too much, is already proving a powerful ally, and the Red Army makes full use of the alliance. Even cavalry, with Cossacks included in most regiments, has come into its own and is striking fierce blows at the retreating Germans. By their hardiness and their mobility, the cavalry are taking revenge for German atrocities. When the village of S or the village of R is recaptured, it's a scene of devastation indeed, after 2 offensives have torn across its face. But now the rightful owners hold the place again. The dead are German dead. And the prisoners are German. Well wrapped up against the cold, thoughtfully provided with plenty of warm woolies against the Russian winter. Thank heavens for Hitler's intuition. It must be nice for them to have such a thoughtful Führer. It must be nice, too, to know that Goebbels is collecting old clothes for them in Berlin. All the same, the German prisoner's own intuition is telling him that he's half frozen right now. And it's telling him that once again, his country is losing a war. But the German prisoner is lucky. It's his comrades who are really freezing to death and being smashed and blasted by the Russian guns in the retreat from Moscow, 1942.